control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here, and today we're about to observe a crazy high skill ceiling matchup. We have spawning in the top right as England, for England, James Lorrydriver, and his opponent Medium Tank, who is my prime rival in the Red Alert Global League as it stands, because he has not dropped a single game so far. So yeah, Lorrydriver, also a really good player. He is in the Recruits division currently, and he's about to take the hidden path to the Masters League, as So Scared likes to call it, where he has to win a knockout phase against both Minions League players and then Masters League players, simply because he is so high skilled that he is stomping the league right now. And I'm expecting to see him in Masters next season. It's gonna be a rough time. Anyway, for now, we are here on Dual Cold Front. Used to be a 6-player map. Just imagine this. It's a bit of a cramped location. Ooh, no double kill. It's a bit of a cramped location for 6 players, all things considered. But, you know, it allows for some nice opportunities in a 1v1, like you can opt for Naval as allies. You can opt for, base grab, land grab expansions, doing the whole America thing where well, there are no oils to grab, so probably no America build to be happening here. Anyway, and this is gonna be an interesting one. Germany versus England. And if this goes into the high-tech phase, then this matchup develops an interesting dynamic where the basically both of those have the same weapon set. Both of the special units that were the Chrono Tank and the Stealth Tank, or Stealth APC. Difference being that the Chrono Tanks have crazy mobility, while the Stealth APCs, well, are stealthed, go figure, and also allow for the opportunity to drop off for infantry, but are paper-thin armored. Have paper-thin armor skirts as a trade-off. We're seeing a Ranger. Okay, that's interesting. I guess that's a light tank, maybe a second Ranger. That's highly unusual. Okay, double Ranger, apparently. And Lorrydriver is not opting for early infantry, so double Ranger is pretty much useless. The Cheery is still out on that build, Mr. Medium Tank. Maybe he was trying to... you know what? Maybe he was expecting an early MCV move out and was trying to catch the MCV off guard, because with 2 Rangers it's fairly easy to box it in. But no such thing happening on Lorrydriver's side. Au contraire, he's playing a super safe game. Could deploy the bunker right now. He doesn't know whether there's engineers in there. Yeah, he's just going for the eco game, going for the long haul here. 4 harvesters versus 3. Still, that sets Medium Tank back an entire harvester. Not entirely sure if that's a good idea. Wow, 6 harvesters versus 3 still. Ooh, the economy is going to explode here. Well, this is an interesting build, mind you. Double Rangers can be successful, but just not in this situation. Like, what is it gonna accomplish here? It's just gonna block off the War Factory for a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's a light tank. 5 seconds. Blocked 5 seconds of light tank deployment. Welp, that just didn't happen. So that puts Lorrydriver in the driver's seat, I guess. Seeing as he has 6 harvesters to the 4 of Medium Tank. Well, he caught up to 5, but okay. Medium Tank has the early expansion though. I guess due to the light tanks, expansion timing is a bit behind. Like, ooh, this might get scouted. Always a really bad setback if your opponent knows about your expansions early, because then he can respond accordingly and just position his army in such a way that he just bursts down your first Coneyard. Or maybe goes for a base bust. Yep. Looking very solid so far. Lorrydriver probably not going for a base push. He figures that Medium Tank might have deployed here already, and is not taking the risk. Okay, Ranger doing some scouting work. We're seeing some medics out, that's a really good call. I like mixing in medics, gives your army so much sustain, so much survivability. Okay, you can take out the scout. So, the way it appears to Lorrydriver now, there is not an expansion yet, so he's probably expecting an expansion down here, which is also happening. Interesting build from from Medium Tank. He went for 2 con yards, but has completely abandoned his original base. So he feels completely safe with just having a single pillbox deployed here. I don't know. Okay, the Ranger go for another scouting run, finding the first base of Lorrydriver. And there is a sizable army. Well, come to think of it, there are so many riflemen in this that it's probably about even value-wise. The difference being that Medium Tank has a really strange way of mixing rocket soldiers and riflemen. So I think he's building 5 and 5. You know, if you shift Q, if you use the shift key, you can always build 5 at a time of anything. And I think Medium Tank uses the 5 and 5 build, which is really expensive as a ranged engagement, and doesn't really scale well versus mass infantry like Lorrydriver is having it here. Let's see how it pans out. He can burst the Conyard, maybe. Okay, no, he's not gonna go in. He's instead... Oh, wow! Instead he's letting himself get crushed by those 3 medium tanks. That was... That was very one-sided. A very decisive victory here for Medium Tank. I guess, no, the scatter key, he didn't find this Lorrydriver didn't find the scatter key in time, but in turn, Medium Tank is gonna run into a concave of pillbox and rocket soldiers here. Not the best place to be. He can't tank through this. Ooh, that was close. That's 1500 worth of rocket soldiers just standing there on a wreckage. If this had gotten 1 cell farther and there was no room to dodge, I believe, then this engagement might have turned out differently because all the rocket soldiers would have gone down. But oh well. Finally, I see more riflemen coming out, but still the ratio is kind of skewed. Also, what I don't like is that neither of these players are using their control groups to the full efficiency. If you really want to like maximize your damage output, you put your anti-infantry into one control group, you put your tanks into one control group, and your anti-tank weapons into one group. So you have 3 groups to play around with, and one of those control groups is going to focus on the infantry, the other one on the tanks, and the 3rd control group would be your tanks, and those are supposed to drive in, soak up damage, and get crushes or pushes on the infantry. That's how you play out engagements optimally. Well, we're having a counter push on both sides of the map actually. So this might get a bit hairy here, but nice focus fire. You see? That's the power of focus fire. Despite Lorrydriver coming in with 2 medium tanks first, Medium Tank was on the ball and sniped the rocket soldiers, but on the bottom side he's losing his eco lines. Ouch. 2 harvesters. Barracks are just not worth it going for. Barracks are so cheap to reinforce, like 400. You might as well not even bother. Just ignore them. In base wars at least. Okay, clean up, but at the cost of a couple harvesters. Let's see, what is this doing? Going into the main base. Alright, alright. Okay, Lorrydriver focusing down the ore truck. Is he gonna get it? Should not be. Like, look at this. That's like 10 rockets or... Oh, wow! No way, he got the ore truck down. Unlucky, boys. Last rocket salvo kills it off. Well, the jury's out on this attack. I'm not very convinced, especially he's going for the barracks. I was just talking about this. Barracks are just not a good target to go for. It's like, what's it gonna do? It's gonna, like, at best cost 400. At the very best, he would have gotten the barracks down. No big deal. Now he's wasted an entire army. Very back and forth here, I have to say. The Ranger is really well placed here. It would scout any aggression from the top side. Do we have a follow-up plan for either of those? I guess Medium Tank is just licking his wounds, just trying to recover by getting more eco. Lorrydriver is playing a super standard. I mean, he's got the radar dome and he's transitioning into artilleries, it seems. Ooh, 4 medium tanks. Now that's better. Like, there is... that's not a meat shield, that's just a tank force. Like, there is nothing to focus fire here, but cleanup crew arrives. Cleanup crew to aisle 1. We got a tank spill here. Tank leak. Ah, okay. Now that's interesting. We're seeing a shipyard out of medium tank. This could prove very useful on this map, actually, as I've talked about destroyers having insane range and insane tracking range on the missiles as well. This might be a good idea, I assume. Alright. Like, honestly, do we even have to talk about this? This is just the state of Allied base defenses at the moment. Ooh, first hind going down. Look at this. State of Allied base defenses at the moment. Just spam camo pillboxes, is all you need. 5 in this base. Oh, not in this base, and at least 1 up here. Well, you know, personally I prefer when the game is more about armies and about mobility, so I would not at all mind upping the price for Allied base defenses. Soviet ones are in a good spot, I believe. This is outside of vision range. Oh, those are gonna be a couple decimating artillery shells. Ooh, so much cash down the drain. Yep, covering fire here. The artillery is blasting their way through the army of Medium Tank. And a sizable army up topside too. We've seen a tech center go up for Lorrydriver. And I believe that Lorrydriver at this point is pretty ahead. Yeah, 60k to 72k. It's just the eco that got set back so hard. Like, look, Medium Tank is just struggling here to refill his harvester count on the expansions. First destroyer route though, let's see. What else can you do here? I mean, he's unsure about the attack patterns of Lorrydriver. That's why he's playing super defensively. He's just standing here and trying to negate the pushes that come in. Okay. I think was firing the camo pillboxes, yeah. Now there is still a very nasty bug with the camo pillboxes. If you have scouted them and revealed them, and then you lose line of sight, but you still see the camouflage pillbox under the fog of war, then what happens is you cannot target it, which is super annoying. Wow, nuke as well for going up for Lorry. Here behind the missile, but no protection. It's like Austin Powers. Never without protection, baby. Well, the first movie anyways. Split map, but... Okay, here goes the eye. Eye in the sky down. Nice pickup. That's still worth it. He loses the helicopter, but Medium Tank gets rid of 2 artilleries and a helicopter to boot. And now he can start harassing the shorelines. Oh wow. Did Lorrydriver scout this, or did he go for a naval out of his own on his own volition? Look at the tracking range. Like, this is insane. That was like, what, 15, 16 cells? Oh, that was bad micro. Bad micro on Medium Tank's part. And 3 artilleries nestled in here. We have some aggression on those ore trucks, but they're idling anyway. They're on Union strike or some shit. Yep. Going down. That's attack move. I don't like attack move on tank blobs. That's what happens, man. Okay, so here we have a decisive victory for Lorrydriver. And on the bottom side, we're seeing more destroyers come out. For both parties actually, so slightly favoring the destroyer count, slightly favoring Medium Tank for the time being. So many rocket soldiers. And I hate it when Medium Tanks just start standing there. It's like you issued them a move command, but for some reason the cell is occupied and they just stand there. And they're like, yep, rockets in the rear armor. That's fine. I could take this. Oh wow, that's an all-in move. But still focusing the barracks. No! Don't freaking focus the barracks. That is going to be horrible. It's going to go south very quickly. I mean, he gets a couple landed helicopters, if that's what he was after. But, no. The arties from the back lines. Alright, this one, Scoutillery. Hashtag Scoutillery. So if Medium Tank keeps moving here, he needs to keep moving. We can see a couple spies here. Don't know. It's Britain, so they're cheap cannon fodder, I guess. The British spies cost 250. I don't think that was mentioned in James Bond, but it's actually 250 a pop. Well, pretty much not worth it for medium tank. What did he kill? 2 barracks. Oh, but his tank force decimated the expansion. Alright. That was a diversion, and he regained naval control. Ha! Never mind. Never mind. I take it all back. Alright, maybe now he's transitioning into more riflemen, hopefully so. You see, he needs something. He just needs some form of anti-infantry here. Alright. Ah, that's too bad. Well, at least the arties go down. We have seen the destroyers go down to artilleries and combine to rocket soldier fire. Well, trading turns at taking the expansions and losing them. Against this kind of blob, you actually want Tanya, you want chrono tanks, you want anything that can either reliably crush or do AoE damage. Or artilleries would be fine as well, but medium tank is not one to build artilleries. Like, he isn't called artillery, he's called medium tank. I've never seen him build artilleries. It's just like, as Soviets he might go for V2s occasionally, but I honestly don't think I've ever seen him build a single artillery. He ain't called medium tank for nothing. Is the GPS? No. 2 minutes and 40 off. So this might actually become a prime target for medium tank if it manages to find out where the tech center is. It's completely unprotected, at least from air assaults. And if we're gonna have a nice airborne assault here, yeah, 2 helicopters would be enough. Just to stomp the tech center here. With a composition like this, I'd actually transition into light tanks for medium tank because they are way faster and they actually do way higher DPS versus artilleries, in case you didn't know. It's pretty useful. Yeah, I can start shelling the shorelines again. Smart call. Ooh, what a hind fleet. We're having 7 out in the air right now. And that's gonna be a bit nasty. Can take down a Conyard and the service depot. Oh wow! Medium tank actually caught the artilleries off guard, so there's only 3 left. But look, with a setup like this, 3 artilleries in the front lines, like, medium tanks take too long. They're really slow, they have actually lower DPS. Well, like I just mentioned, they have lower DPS than light tanks versus light armor, which is an interesting dynamic. So yeah, in this case, I'd go for light tanks. All things considered. This might work, let's see. It depends on the arty shells. If the arty shells start killing the rocket soldiers, then it's game. Oh, he's chasing, he's giving chase. Losing line of sight though. Ah, and Lorrydriver redeploys. Really, really well played here. Well, there are still a couple destroyers hunting for the ore trucks. What you want with this actually is aerial support. You want a hind simply for line of sight. Because destroyers are great, but they don't have much line of sight. So in that case I would actually go for a single hind to accompany them. Doesn't need to go into range of the AA guns, just needs to sit on the ore patches and scout. Give line of sight, because if he parks the destroyers like here, alright? They would easily have range to take down anything that tries to harvest from those 2 gem patches. Oh, that was medium tank. Okay, never mind. I didn't see the colors. Alright, that was a very good call. He should have sniped the radar dome. Like, taking down an advanced power at this stage is nothing. So, and he sniped it before the nav set came up as well. So, really big win. Now if he manages to find those 3 unprotected artilleries, he might have a comeback here. Yeah, Lorrydriver is slowly taking back his expansions. Like, in terms of the eco, they should now have completely stabilized, because I see everyone having harvested out everything. Oh, well, this is gonna give Lorry a spike, because the gem mines haven't been harvested for quite a while. So he's gonna be ahead for a bit. Had to pull off. Earnings, yeah, they like the graphs slowly converging. Alright, yeah! We're seeing some more destroyer shelling action here. I really like how he's placing them on the ore patches. All he would need is support from a hind. Simply for line of sight purposes. Another small push, and wow! He managed to squeeze 7 helicopters out himself. That's pretty significant. Whoa. Alright, gave him a little jump scare here. All those rocket soldiers. But look at, I really like the positioning of the rocket soldiers here for Lorrydriver, because what that does, it forms a concave. Oh no, he's going for the nuke. 50 seconds left. Yeah, he got it. That was pretty worth it. He lost 2 helicopters for the nuke, yeah, and he killed an artillery with the crash. So pretty good move. Is this gonna be an all-in push though? I really like the formations. Like, Lorrydriver's formations are really, really good. Look at Medium Tank just having a blob, and those blobs are so susceptible to AoE weapons. And this, on the other hand, is like more of a spearhead. Maybe he's using formation commands, I don't know, I'll have to ask him. But yeah, regardless, I like his positioning way better. I mean, here he's gonna run into stationary defense, or stationary blob, so he's not gonna be trading that well, but the artillery should change that. Yeah, sniping out rocket soldiers and probably going for crashes. Yep. Not too spectacular, but that's an all-in push. And question is, can Medium Tank hold? His helis are rearming, he needs the helis back in the fight. Like, ASAP. Ooh. Helicopter crash has failed. He's pulling the goalies. Those are like the last 3 helicopters. No bueno. No bueno. All the Air Force going down. Rocket soldiers from the back lines. That's all the Air Force down. Ooh, that was a nice crash though. Taking down the Medium Tank, calling the GG. He can't hold this push. Like, funny enough, if you look at the map, there was nothing much that he would have followed that up with. So Medium Tank wouldn't technically be out. Like, if he would hold this, if he were to hold this, he could come back. But alas, no such thing happening right now. Nope. No miracle army in sight, no Tanya in sight. This is where you would need chrono tanks for hit and run. Anyway, yeah, Medium Tank losing to this all-in push. Too bad, he wouldn't have been in such a bad spot. What I really would have liked is for him to transition into destroyers with helicopter support, so you can snipe the ore trucks reliably. Because what that does, it forces your opponent to constantly rebuild his eco, and not get much of an army out. And meanwhile, you yourself can just, you know, spam tanks or even go for chrono tanks. Too bad we didn't see any late game tech. That would have been sweet. I think next to Ukraine versus Russia, the Germany versus England matchup is one of the most dynamic ones, simply because you have similar factions but with high-end units that serve a completely different purpose. So it's really interesting to see. Always spicy to see some drops by stealth APCs or stealth APC blocks and crushes versus chrono tank micro. Some of the more micro-intensive factions, I'd say. Anyway, really well played. A bit lucky for Lorrydriver because he didn't have much follow-up here. And if Medium were to have held on, he would have come back. Or at least come back into a position where he would realistically stand a chance to stand his ground. Anyway, that was a fun match. The 2 Ranger opener is something that the jury is still out about. But other than that, fun match to cast. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. 5 Aces out.